Online has got me hooked. Play some multiplayer together, which would be a lot of fun.
Yes. What are we talking about?
We're talking about Red Dead 2. Baby.
Red Dead 2. Oh, yeah. It's like, I was...
Do you have the save point open? If not,
it's like, that's the one thing I forgot to open. I knew I was forgetting something.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the theretrorents. This is episode 48. It is me and Nick tonight. Kyle, you're not going to believe it, going on vacation.
What?
Yeah. No, they're going on a little weekend getaway, and he's got a pack tonight. He said he was going to try, but it looks like that's not going to happen, which is fine. He'll be back next week. Or, 2 weeks from today anyway. But yeah, shit. How you doing there, Nick?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. Fall
weather's like finally coming in and getting brisk out there.
Oh, I love every second of it. This is my jam, man. Fall is my favorite time of year. Being a man of larger girth, I'm not a big fan of the heat.
No more sweating your polish off.
Yes, it's not good. I don't like sweating. But, no, it's my time of year for sure. How was the week? What you been doing?
Week's been going good. Doing a little more VR stuff. So I recently played. What was it? Oh no, Cobalt's like the next one. Dang it! Now I put it on Twitter and got a couple good laughs out of it. Oh, Nervosa. That's what it is.
Nervosa.
I was playing Nervosa. Yeah, I think it's. I know it's on Viveport, part of their subscription service plan. Basically, I'm doing spoopy games throughout all of October, and that kicked it off with Nervosa. It was a really fun puzzle game, super atmospheric. But yeah, my chat got me good during when I was streaming.
I saw that clip. Not even kidding. It popped up. I'm trying to figure out. Something popped up in my Twitch feed, and I just, for whatever reason, I hopped over to your channel, and it was like, oh, Black Eagle Ops posted a new clip, and he's like, or no, you posted on Twitter. You're like, my channel got me good, dude. I was howling. That was hysterical.
I was not prepared for it. And the thing is, it's not normally a scary sound, but I have it turned up so high that, like, when it happened, I swear, because I mean, it felt different, looking at the footage, but man, I swear I jumped like 5 feet in the air.
No, knowing you as
like
well
as my feet left the ground.
Yeah. I was say, knowing you as well as I do, I was watching, I'm like, man, he just shit his pants. It
was good. And really, really fun game. Like, it wasn't very long, which I always like in horror games. It's like it doesn't outstay its welcome, but it's just like long enough to be entertaining.
Nice. And what was that called again?
Nervosa.
Nervosa. God, I gotta get VR, man. There's some really cool stuff. We'll get to it later, but there's a big hit this week that's saying, like, this is the game, you've been waiting for VR.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about that.
Absolutely. That's cool. Any other games to highlight?
No, I think it's just kind of more of the usual outside of that. I know Surviving Mars is on the Epic Store right now. It's free, so it's like, pick that up. Oh. I want to jump into that.
Is that the building one?
I think so. I haven't played it myself, and I think I saw a few, like, how it was played. But yeah, it's kind of like almost a SimCity-ish, but on Mars type of thing going on.
Okay.
So, I feel like, it already intrigues me, and it's free game, so it's like, well.
Yeah. You know what it is? I think I have that on a PC Game Pass.
Ah.
Which I actually haven't checked in a while. And they update that pretty damn frequently. I might pull that up for when we talk about, like, releases and stuff that's out. But, yeah, no, I think I tried it on console. Not a good idea. For me, at least, it did not translate very well. On consoles, anyway. I don't know.
Gotcha. more of a PC
That's a
game
keyboard and mouse kind of game for sure. Sinner, Sacrifice, or Redemption? Oh, that's leaving Game Pass soon. Anyway. So let's see. As far as me, I've been doing quite a bit of gaming this week. Generally, I've been getting up really, really early. Because we added to the family. I posted on Twitter. No, it's not another baby. Thank God.
Babies everywhere.
Babies. Oh God, those commercials were classic. The never-ending bottle of beer might be the best thing I've ever seen to this day. But yes, we added to the family, as I said on Twitter, Retro Pup 1.0. We got ourselves a puppy. He is a Boston Terrier and King Charles mix.
King Charles, okay.
His name, the girls wanted to name him Jareth. For anyone that's ever seen Labyrinth. That's one of their favorite movies. I explained to them you gotta have a little bit more easier of a name for a dog to understand, so they can understand, when they're being called. I guess Amber had that conversation. Then she called me up, and I was like, yeah, it'll be easier for him to understand, because she decided that they compromised when they were coming home with him, and we named him Bowie. As in David Bowie, not the knife. And brought him home last weekend. He's 4 months old. He's a tiny little thing. Well, not tiny, he's actually getting bigger. I think he's probably going to be, you remember Bandit, he's probably going to grow to be about that size, maybe a little smaller. Wow. Well, probably smaller than that.
But, I guess it depends on how much Boston Terrier is in him and how much.
That's the fucking question right there. But he definitely has the coolest demeanor. He's really chill. Like, he'll get his moments where the terrier kicks in and he's just fucking running around. Like, pew, 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 pew. Yep. But most of the time, like, he fits right in with his family. He lays on the fucking couch and sleeps. He's a lazy puppy, and the girls adore him. He loves the girls. He's good with the baby, and they just adore him. I think the baby is like she's head over heels for him. Every time she sees him, she's like, Bobo. It's cool. And I've wanted a dog for a long time. We've had 2 cats forever, and I like my cats, but I was raised with dogs my whole life, so it was one of those pieces I was always like, man, I really want a dog, and she calls me up and she's like, they were down in southern PA just going to farmers markets and shopping around. She's like, we met this family and they have these beautiful dogs and we fell in love with one and he's for sale. And I'm like, oh fuck, here it comes. She's like, can we get him? I'm like, how much is it? She's like, $100. I'm like, sold. And he came with a 30-day health guarantee. We're gonna go get him a wellness check, and if there's anything wrong, we could return him, but I doubt we would. But I think we've all grown very attached, and he seems very healthy, at least to this point. So
that's great.
We'll go get him checked out, and he's a great little addition. I gotta say, he's learning the housebreaking pretty quickly. Granted, I haven't had to get up at 2:30 in the morning to take somebody out for a shit in a long time. But, we're all getting used to it. So other than that, so I've been getting up early before work, just to see my daughter off to school, and then I usually have a little bit of time to kill, so I've been gaming a bit, and I am hooked on Destiny 2. For those who don't know, it went free to play last week. I wound up picking up the expansion as well, like $30 on sale, and I have put an insane amount of hours into it in such a short time anyway. I'm like power level 903, and I'm really digging the story. I'm digging the gunplay in that game is great. But it's got me like scratching my head because like Borderlands 3, and I think my problem with Borderlands 3 is I'm not playing it with other people, but that is not hooking me. Like, I wanted to. I should love that game. Like, I love looter shooters. I love looter anything. And I don't know, man. Borderlands 3 is just not... it's not doing it for me. I don't know why. I can't say why, like, I am not just like, I have to play this game.
Right.
I mean, you picked it up. What are you thinking of it?
I'm enjoying it, but I mean, it's not like it was like it's not a game where I'm like running home. It's like, yeah, I want to play it right now. It's more like, oh, okay, it's just like like when I feel like it, so I'll play it. I think I'm close to the end of the storyline, but I'm not like barreling through it.
Right.
So maybe the same boat. It's definitely a lot more fun when you play it with people, for sure.
Sure.
Because then you have that whole group dynamic, and then certainly getting into because I have dabbled a little bit into the mayhem, which is basically like the I don't know what do you call
PvP, it? Battle Royale.
No, not battle royale. It's basically adding difficulty layers to the game. So the more
kind of like Diablo 3's like greater rifts and shit.
Yes,
like that.
yeah, exactly that. Yeah, so like when you get to like Mayhem 3, then like mobs are like super like 3x and whatever. So it becomes that much more hard, but also the loot is that much more rewarding.
Okay.
So, but again, that's where it's like you definitely want to be like kind of running with a group. Otherwise, you're just kind of like grinding for guns all by yourself type of thing. So I can definitely see that.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. It's not hooking me, and I think that's probably what I love about Destiny too. Is that even when I'm hooked up with randos, like which has happened a lot. I mean, I'm in Los's clan, the Future Monkeys clan from their old podcast days. I jumped on board with them. I haven't actually played with them yet, but just even like you get thrown on assignments and these bigger strikes with just random people, and I've had really good experiences so far. Everybody's just wanting to win, get the end of the mission, get the looties, and I find that people tend to work together pretty well in it so far.
And it's kind of set up for that too. I mean, it's built on kind of like that, MMO framework, right? So you're going into main cities and there's people around, and then you're forming up groups that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And the graphics are gorgeous. On a good PC, at least, it's absolutely gorgeous. But what blows my mind is the gunplay. Like, the guns in this game feel so real, like so good, like from the kicking and like the flinching if you get hit, and just the way each one, they're like all different and they all shoot different, and it just feels right. You know what I mean? You get a game like that where you're like, man, this just feels right, and it just makes it that much more fun. So I had a blast with that. And then the PlayStation Now, not PlayStation Now, PS Plus, that's what it is. The PlayStation Plus.
Their subscription service, yeah.
Subscription service. One of their games of the month. The 2 games of the month were The Last of Us, which I haven't played yet. I played the first 20 minutes back when it came out, when I had it on PS3. And then the other one is MLB The Show 19. Now, anyone that knows me, personally, in my personal life, baseball is probably my least favorite sport. I'll just put it that way in a nice way. I don't know. Like, I'll watch the last, 2 innings of a championship game if it's close, and it's like, yeah, but that's like any sport where you want to see the end and who comes out on top. But other than that, unless I've gone to a game, I have never sat and watched an entire baseball game. It just doesn't trip my trigger. However, this stupid game has got me hooked. I've been playing the Road to the Show mode, where it's basically career mode. You start, your own character. You go to tryouts, and I didn't practice anything, so I gloriously sucked. And I wanted to join the Phillies, organization, being a Pennsylvania, homegrown.
Sure, yeah. Gotta go with the Phillies.
Yeah, you gotta go with Phillies. So I started out in their AA team, which, for anyone that lives in our area, the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs.
Iron Pigs, yeah, I love going to those games, man.
Oh yeah, I went to one. I gotta go to another one, because that was actually a lot of fun. They're the AAA team. No, I'm on the AA team, the Reading, the Reading Fighting Phils, and this is basically even they suck. But I've been playing as a pitcher. And I started out as a closing pitcher. For those who don't know baseball like me, I found out that that's the pitcher that comes in when the starting pitcher, is basically played as much of a game as he can, tired out, and then they bring you in to finish the game. You're fresh, and you have the mentality to close out a game. Well, I did so good at that they made me a starter. And I was doing great playing for them, and then like I've been playing for like 2 days. Anytime I was in a game, we either won or tied, or it wasn't a blowout, and so like my stats are through the roof, and I wound up getting upgraded to the Iron Pigs, and I got signed on to them. And the cool thing is, like they basically rendered top to bottom completely Coca-Cola Park at the PPL Center.
Oh, nice!
It's perfect. Like in the best part, Nick, you can actually see the PPL building in the background.
That much, huh?
Yeah, like I was like, I almost got a job there. I'm so glad I didn't. But yeah, and again, for someone like me, I'm not a baseball fan. But the game is fun as hell. Like, it's really well done. The presentation is probably the best I've ever seen for a sports game. It feels like you're part of it, like you're watching it on TV and controlling the action. It's just very well done. Like I'm building relationships in the locker room. This is where it got a little cheesy. I had to like cringe a little bit and just kind of smack myself in the head because I was like, wow, I can't believe they put this in a game. But like you can build relationships with your teammates, and you start out with like unfamiliar, and then the next tier is friendly, and then if you go past that, you become bros.
What?
That, I was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Come on, broski.
Yo, man, we're not friends. We're bros. But, cringiness aside, it's a pretty goddamn good game, and I would actually highly recommend it. If you have PS Plus, you have no reason not to get it. Grab it, it's free, and it's fun. I like it so far. And then finally, I streamed this about a month and a half ago, and I started playing it again a little bit last night, a little bit today, and I remember how much I really enjoy this game called Fell Seal Arbiter's Mark. It's a PC game. You can get it on Steam. This is like everything you love about Final Fantasy Tactics, and it's better. And I love Final Fantasy Tactics. But I mean, for PC, where we don't really have a Final Fantasy Tactics port, it's that exact kind of game. Like, you have characters, they have classes, you can learn new classes by learning skills. The story is actually really good. When I was streaming the villain character, I was like doing voices for each of the characters in the game, and he just, for whatever reason, became Sean Connery for me, and now that's all I hear when I fight him. But yeah, no, I highly, highly recommend this game. You can get it. It's got glowing, ultra positive reviews on Steam. Many, many reviews. Like, it's kind of a long time coming. For as much as the PC is known for strategy games, you don't really get too many of these like tactical RPGs like Final Fantasy Tactics that are of that quality. I mean, there's like the Disgaea series, I'll be honest, I haven't really played that, and it just seemed like a grind fest to me. Like, the story just wasn't really there for me. Fell Seal's got a good story, and it's got me real interested. So, highly recommend it. If you've loved Final Fantasy Tactics, you will fall head over heels for this one on PC. It's great. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's all I've been playing, really. That and picking up dog poop and hoping to hell he doesn't crap on the rug when I'm not looking. He's gotten good. He's picking up quick. So. All right, let's move on to release highlights. Nick, I know this one will perk your ears up. Frostpunk is out on consoles.
Oh, nice.
That was a good game, man. You recommended that one.
Yeah, it really was. Like, it's kind of one of those, I say, like, depressing style games. I don't think the level of, like, say, like, This War of Mine.
I was going to say, it ain't This War of Mine. That's for goddamn sure.
No, definitely not that. But I put it in the same kind of, like, general vein of, like, yeah, you're fighting your inevitable death.
Yeah, it's Dwarf Fortress all over again.
Exactly.
It's very good, though. For people who don't have PCs and you feel like you miss out on these really unique games, it's on, like I said, it's on consoles. It is really worth picking up. It's a fun, it's very unique. Like, that's the only way I can really describe it. It's a very unique game.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of got, the RTS,
Builder.
top down view, builder view, but it's all about like resource management, as well as kind of like the SimCity aspect, but a lot more, I'd say, hardcore, in the sense that, like, not only do you have to, like, build the city up, but you have to really keep your citizens in healthy shape, really. There's kind of like a morale, I think, meter too. But it's a very delicate balance. Like, obviously I say SimCity, but SimCity's like easy mode compared to what you have to face here, because you're fighting the cold, so you're managing like power levels, like where you're even building, like it's very, very narrow margin of error, essentially. And then obviously there's like kind of like a roguelike, random elements that can happen throughout the game too, that like whether you're finding extra supplies, or new people are coming in that you can't house, and you have to make these critical moral decisions, like, do you send all the kids into the mines to help mine for fuel, coal, essentially, or do you keep them to the side and keep them healthy?
Yeah, I sent them into the mines in my first game. I don't recommend that. Yeah, no, it's a great game though. I was just checking to see if it's on Game Pass. It's not. But yeah, check that out. Very good stuff. Next is Indivisible. This one really has me interested. It is an RPG. It's got some Metroid inspiration to it, and Valkyrie Profiles is another one that's kind of compared as far as its style. It's gotten positive reviews. Sorry about that. That's the video. But yeah, it looks interesting. It's gotten pretty good reviews, and I'm always up for a good RPG. But it's one of those, like, you look at the screenshots, it's kind of hard to pin down. Like, it looks like a platformer, so it's like an action RPG platformer with, like, beautifully hand-drawn art. So yeah, that came out, I want to say, this week. It looks very good, so I'm probably going to pick that up at some point. And then Trine 4, Nightmare Prince. This is another platformer, and like, there's 4 games in this series that I didn't even know existed. Have you ever played this?
I haven't heard of that particular title. I've heard of Trine. Like, I think I have. I want to say Trine 2.
Shit, I did it again. Whoa, sorry. I was just looking at the Steam page for it. It's interesting. But yeah, this is like an entire series I didn't know existed. It looks like a great little platformer. Another, like, beautiful graphics too. Holy shit. But yeah, so that came out this week as well. All 3 of these have very good reviews, so I highly recommend checking them out. That's really, I mean, are there any other releases that have caught your eye, Nick?
Releases? No, it's actually felt like a fairly quiet week in terms of new game. A lot of stuff on the horizon.
What's that?
I said a lot of stuff on the horizon, though.
Oh dear God, yeah. Like, I'm like counting now that I have a PS4. Like, give me Death Stranding, baby.
Yeah, that's what, November now, I think.
Yes, November for Death Stranding. And another November release that's got me foaming at the mouth because I want to see how beautiful it looks on PC.
Oh, yes.
And then we can finally play some multiplayer together, which would be a lot of fun.
Yes. What are we talking about?
We're talking about Red Dead 2, baby.
Red Dead 2. Oh, yeah. It's like, I was so hoping for this because like, in the back of my mind, I was also like very fearful because amazingly, Red Dead 1 has never gotten to PC. Yeah. Yep. Now, I had it on the console way back in the day, but it's like, I don't even know. I haven't even plugged them in to see if they work now. So I kind of want to replay a little bit, but at the same time, it's like, I gotta see if I can get the console to work and get it all plugged in. It's like, it's like, yeah. Just release it on PC. I'll buy it again just so I can play it on PC. It makes you wonder
if maybe they'll do that when Red Dead 2 comes out. Like, if there's
I hope, but I don't know. Like, the fact that it hasn't now, like, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe they will do it, but it'll be like, I don't know, some years in the future. But I was very happy to see that Red Dead 2 is indeed like there were rumors flying around.
Oh, dude,
just
it
last
was pretty
year.
much like a shit stain on the wall, written in letters, like written in blood, because they had slipped up so much with this one. There was an accidental leak of an Amazon release date. There was they were literally advertising for coders who have ported from console to PC for a popular Western title. Oh, what could that be? The writing was pretty much on the wall for the past 6 months, and I think the only question was when. And now we have the when, and it is November. What did they say? Up quick, because this is huge. Because I plan on picking this up because I got a really nice computer, and I want to see what it looks like.
I mean, some of the initial screenshots of like the upscale, from PC version just look. I mean, it looked gorgeous to begin with, even on console. But man, it just looks spectacular.
Oh, fuck me! No, it's not November. It's October. Oh wait, no, that was when it released on consoles. When is it coming out? They did announce it. There was an announcement. Red Dead 2 PC, November 5th. Remember, the 5th of November. Yeehaw. Let's do this. But yeah, no,
so it's gonna be another loaded November then.
Oh, dude, this November is gonna blow for my wallet. We got Red Dead 2 coming to PC. We got Death Stranding coming out. We got Last of Us 2. We got needless to say, we've got a ton of shit coming.
A lot's coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be awesome. And I really look forward to actually playing some online on the PC. It's easier for me to do that, to play games online on PC than it is on consoles, because I don't really have a headset for the consoles. Like in here, I can just get it all, set up and do my thing. But I'm really stoked for that. I will say, it's really good that you haven't played Red Dead 1 in a long time, because Red Dead 2 was very different in a lot of ways. Like there's a lot more kind of a not a pain in the ass survival element, but there's a little bit more survival elements to it. You have to eat, you have to wash, which I think is hysterical.
Wash, really? So like keep up hygiene?
Yeah, like you gotta. Well, it's not like you get a disease or anything, but like people will tell you stink. And,
it's old man Hobo again.
Oh, Prospector it's so Hobo. Funny, man. Prospector Hobo. But yeah, like if you go into camp and like you haven't washed in a while, the one woman that like runs the like kitchen and everything's like, get your ass in the barrel and wash. And, like, and it'll force you to wash automatically. It's just funny. But there's a lot of aspects to it that I think that take a little bit of getting used to if you'd recently played Red Dead 1, which I had done, and it made it a little bit of getting used to. It's very highly rated, and I for me, I put it in probably like my top 10 of all time. It's one of those games that's up there like The Witcher 3, and where it's just like a masterpiece of world building and just storytelling. I thought it was very, very good. So yeah, I'm excited for you to play that. I'm excited to play the online with you, because the bit that I did play on console was a lot of fun.
Yes.
A lot of fun. So I think we're going to have a good time with that. In nuts. Oh, and we'll stick with the happy news before we get to the other shit. Yeah, there was a VR release this week called Asgard's Wrath.
Yes, it's making a lot of waves.
Dude, I was just looking at this on Metacritic. Like, every review I'm reading is basically saying, for anyone that got VR because you wanted to escape to like a fantastical world that you just could not experience otherwise, this is that game you've been waiting for. It's rated 94. I mean, people are going batshit over this game. So, Nick, you got to play that. Jeremy, if you're listening, I want your report, because you are another VR Sherpa.
Yeah, I'm definitely I know it's out for Oculus. Fortunately, it's not for Steam and or Vive, so I'll have to do the I forget what it's called, but there's basically a program to help make Oculus stuff work on Vive. So maybe I'll have to finally break down and see if I can't get that to work.
Okay. Yeah. There's other stuff you could check out too. This is why you got to get PC for Game Pass once the budget allows for it, man. You can play some Blair Witch, and actually Bard's Tale 4 Director's Cut is on there.
Oh, nice.
And I raved about that game. That game is fantastic. So yeah, Brian Fargo, I will pimp this game for you forever, man. It's great. Anyway, yeah, but I was thinking I don't know if Blair Witch is VR or not, but it is first person.
No, I think it's just regular PC.
So you liking the VR then? It's been what, a month now?
Yeah. I'm slowly adapting more and more to it. I think we talked about it a little bit last time, just kind of like my learning experience so far. And yeah, it's just it's practice essentially in terms of like I'm getting less and less prone to the motion sickness during it. And again, kind of acclimating to the types of games that I do better in. Mm-hmm. I think I'm again going to have an absolute blast with puzzle games. Like it's the perfect like kind of pacing, and the movement's like usually pretty perfect in most of those that I've experienced so far. So I think I'm really going to enjoy those kind of like those Myst-esque style games. Nervosa was kind of I think in that vein. It's a puzzle game, so very much interacting. So I'm really lacking at that aspect. I'll have to see if I can, eventually kind of work up to, maybe some, I say FPS shooters, but kind of that level of interaction and speed in VR. But
I mean, I've heard Superhot's pretty awesome.
I think I have that via Twitch because again through like Twitch Prime you get free, another avenue for free games, and I got it way long time ago. So yeah, I'll have to try that.
But does it feel like they're kind of in cohorts with each other? Because I feel like we're getting the same batch of games from different places over and over.
I am noticing that. Like, like I don't know if there's some like gaming consortium thing going on, but yeah, like there are
Game
some
Illuminati.
where, it's like Epic may have it, and then like Twitch may have had it like a year ago type of thing. But I mean, if you. Yeah, exactly. And you take a step back and it's like, okay, this may not be too dissimilar from, I mean, you look at like Netflix and Amazon Prime again.
I think that's exactly. And then I have to remind myself, well, gee, not everybody fucking subscribes to every single service like you.
Exactly.
Asshole.
Yeah. Like if you're not subscribed to those services, but like movies will rotate in and out, much like on even, like cable television or something like that too, where it's like, like certain channels will have, the movie of the month and then they'll rotate to someone else. So I think gaming is kind of following a similar path with, especially with these, subscription style, probably for sure. Yeah. Obviously you have more exclusives when you're talking about like the Microsoft and Sony, but I think there's some multi-platform games where you're like, you'll see it rotate into one out of another. And even like, when it comes to like these free games, same thing where it's like, you'll see it pop up multiple places. It just wouldn't surprise me. So, and it's also a benefit too. So if you miss it on one platform, you could get it on another.
Yep. No, I'm with you. Again, not everybody has every fucking one of these things like me.
Yeah. And, obviously, some people just don't want to pick up certain platforms. I don't know why. Come on. I mean, they're giving away stuff for free.
I don't know, right? Okay, so now on to the not so happy news. I am done with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. That game has such a great start, and then you know what it is. It's just like Wildlands. It needs like 3 months in the cooker for more content.
Oh, does it just like run out fast?
Yeah, it kind of runs out of steam pretty quick. They're kind of flip flopping on their microtransactions as well. It's another one of those.
I think I was reading a lot of like it was a combination of like go faster and cosmetics and maybe some pay to win stuff.
Yeah,
but
it was maybe
too closely.
It was like a little iffy on there is some pay to win stuff, and that's where I'm like, come on, guys. Like, I don't care if somebody wants to pay to like quicken their level progress. Like, to me, that's not pay to win. That's just you have a life and you're not, you don't have time to fucking...
and I know it's always brought up. It's kind of the pay to win argument cycle. But yeah, I'm complete agreement because it's like it's the trade off of and like I think I know all the world of tanks, warships, planes does the exact same thing. I think even like MMOs kind of do a similar thing. I'm trying to remember. I think
Yeah,
Oh, I
Lotro
think
does it.
yeah. I was about to say Lotro did it, didn't? And then I think Guild Wars. No, the Guild Wars 2 didn't have a subscription.
Is that still around?
Yeah. They're still cooking. I haven't played it in a long time. Like I kind of like put it back on the shelf.
Yeah, I know you were hardcore into that for a while.
Yeah. I want to say like I think Star Trek Online does it with theirs because it's always like they're free to play, but oh I know it was Star Wars Online.
Oh yeah,
SOTOR.
Old Republic.
Yeah, Old Republic. Yeah, like they did it. So it's usually like it's a free to play model, and but they'll have like a subscription XP service. Now, obviously, Breakpoint I don't think has a subscription, but I'd still throw it into that same category
Yeah,
of
it's
like
kind of there. It doesn't have
like,
it, but it's there.
right. It's like you have the money, but you don't have the time. Those are the people that are going to be getting it. It's like, and I have no problem with that. It's like, like people have lives. Like, if you don't have all the time in the world, then it's like that
Go
helps
ahead,
you
do it.
Yeah,
no
like,
big deal.
if you do it, go for it. It's like it really doesn't give you that much of a tactical advantage. It just
doesn't
means
give
you're
you
getting
any
up in
edge in
levels.
PvP. From what I understand, PvP everybody's at the same level anyway.
Exactly.
So.
And and the vice versa. It's like if you don't have the cash for it and you want to keep it free as possible or as low cost as possible, it's like do that, but you probably have more time to be able to play the game. So
exactly.
It's like I feel it's the okay blend for the pay for a service type thing.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, that's not really my gripe with it. I mean, going back to the topic, it's one of those that kind of runs out of steam pretty quickly, which is sad because I think again, like Anthem, they got a pretty sweet engine, that it's built on, and the potential is definitely there. So we'll see what happens in a few months. Maybe they'll kick their ass in gear and get it moving.
Yeah, I think like I really enjoyed Wildlands, but I think it was months after it had come out, and I think I had gotten it free with my video card. So call it what you will. It was free with it, so I didn't technically buy it per se.
Yeah, I got it in Uplay Plus, so.
Yeah, so Breakpoint, like, it does interest me because it's like, oh, yeah, it's like I enjoyed Wildlands, but yeah, that's a bit disheartening that it's like maybe they need more time in the cooker, but that's okay with me. That means I can pick it up at a later time.
I would still recommend playing it, giving it a try. Especially again, I can't recommend Uplay Plus enough. Like, unfortunately, I think it's like $14 a month, so it is one of the more expensive ones. But where I think they're doing it right is that you get the entire Ubisoft library at your fingertips to play whatever you want.
Which is pretty massive.
It's massive. You don't realize it until you fucking open up the Uplay Plus library how big their library is. And every single game that you download is like the ultimate collector's edition. It has all the DLC. It has all the bells and whistles.
Oh, nice.
So, and that's every game, which is pretty goddamn sweet. So yeah, like, yeah, it's just good. EA's Origin Premiere does that as well. And
gotcha.
Give them kudos for that. But yeah, so I mean, it's not bad. It's one of those I'll probably come back and forth to it. Destiny 2 is pretty much my main shooter right now. I'm having a lot of fun with that. But yeah, I guess now here's where we get serious. The big news this week, as everybody I think who plays games or follows the industry at all has heard left and right. Blizzard banned their one of their Hearthstone champions, Blitzchung, because during a tournament interview, he voiced his support for Hong Kong and the protests and the democratic protests going on there currently. And Blizzard pretty much immediately banned him for a year from tournament competition, took his prize money away that he had won. It was a whole thing, and it was really harsh. And the internet pretty much blew up at Blizzard, rightfully so, in my opinion. And so I guess the update is that they've reduced his suspension to 6 months, and they actually gave him his prize money. So I thought that was, good. They should have at least done that, considering the amount of traffic he brought to that tournament just on his reputation. And his skill, he earned it. He fucking beat everybody in the world at Hearthstone. Give the kid his fucking prize money.
Right.
Yeah, we're starting to see this more and more. It's not just Blizzard. I think, companies love to sit there and say how gaming is a neutral thing and gaming is neutral, and I think this shows that it's really not. I know, from my own aspects, that's why we don't really talk a lot of, we don't talk any politics on here. I don't, it's one of those you've learned in this day and age, you're not going to change anyone else's mind, in the current mindset, and it's just going to make people upset, and it's not worth it. But, I see stuff like this, and it does get me very concerned when you have, some of these American gaming entertainment companies where China is a major stakeholder, either through Chinese companies like Tencent and others, and it's very concerning where China kind of implies that we should do something about it, and then our companies do that for the sake of their financial relationships in China. We're doing, in my opinion, what are very undemocratic things.
Sure.
Especially in this situation with Blizzard, their terms of agreement are so fucking vaguely worded, where it's like, if you say anything that could possibly make us look bad, and it's like,
it's like, who's defining what looks bad
that?
Per se? It's like, obviously, like, yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, it's easy to point examples like, the Goodwin's Law of, like, if you start, promoting, Hitler.
If you're up there doing a Nazi salute, I get it.
Yeah, it's
you're done.
It's like, okay, yeah.
But, yeah, I have a big problem with this, where it's like, because I also look at most of gaming culture, and I think this is a good thing. In some ways it's not, but, most of gaming culture is a younger crowd. I'm sure 80% of them have no fucking idea what's going on in Hong Kong right now. Or not 80%, but a sizable portion.
Yeah, certainly this brings to light, the global community, so to speak.
Yeah, it shows people that, it's not like your life in other parts of the world. It's different depending on where you go, and things can be, pretty rough for people. So, anyway, it's not even so much the politics of it. I just get a little leery when a foreign country can sit there and turn the screws on what are American companies for people doing things that, as far as we're concerned as a country, is kind of what this country is all about. Just giving a support to protests. I mean, it wasn't anything I would say egregious where this person was saying, "Oh, go out and kill these people." He was just voicing support for protests, and I think that's a pretty hard slope, and I think Blizzard definitely did not do the right thing here, and I know I'm not alone on this, but I don't know. I'm very curious, what people think on this. I understand the mentality of not wanting any kind of politics in gaming. I really do understand that, because that is like my only bastion of like not having to hear who supports who, or I'm so fucking tired of that conversation anymore. So it's nice to have something like gaming
right. Where, but I mean, to that point, you can't necessarily escape it. It's like,
nope.
I agree with you. It's the same thing for me. It's like, gaming, it's like certainly the games we play have messages in them.
Absolutely.
And, are certainly relevant to modern, political and social, issues. And I think it's great. Throughout time, like it is not, the first time something like this has happened in a entertainment medium.
Nope.
If you will.
And it won't be the last by any means.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, again, that was just, that's just one of the major events this week, and I figured we ought to bring it up because it is, we're a global community here, and that's just, I don't like when people are silenced.
Yeah, agreed. And it's been, I think the other interesting half is how other companies are kind of reacting to it.
Yes.
Obviously, I think that, like NBA had, wasn't related to Blizzard, but it kind of propped up, it seemed, at the same time, I think.
Yep.
There was like the NBA, but in gaming, again, on the gaming side, Epic, I think it was CEO, I think it was his title, but basically he came out and said, like, yeah, as CEO and major shareholders, like, you are free to, speak your mind.
Yep.
No matter what. And I thought that was great.
I thought that was awesome of him. Yeah.
Others are kind of taking the more like just don't bring it up. It's like keep it in keep it in the background. I think was it League of Legends Riot is
Oh,
very
yeah.
much, saying he's like, don't bring it up, please.
That company's a shitstorm anyway.
I'm trying to think who else may have commented. I think those are the ones that stood out to me, and I found interesting. But it's like, I'm sure like other companies are kind of like doing their own internal kind of, it's like, is this something to bring up or not? And I think it'll be interesting again to see the kind of the general fallout. I don't think it's specific to Blizzard, but just the Hong Kong riots and demonstrations in general.
Yep. No, I totally agree. It will be interesting to see kind of where the chips fall on that one. All right. So, with that is our news for the week. And we'll actually move on to our question of the bye week. This was a fun one. Now, I feel like we might have asked this before, and I don't care because it's just a fun question. And it's always fun to hear what people think. So, I had said that Borderlands 3 has us thinking, what is your favorite weapon in any game? And it did not have to be a first-person shooter. So we'll start with Facebook, at the save point, and then we'll go to voicemails, and then Nick and I will give you our takes. Do you have the save point open? If not, I'll...
It's like, that's the one thing I forgot to open. I knew I was forgetting something.
So I'll start.
Let me get it up here.
I'll start. Right. This one's from our pal Luke. Luke said, the cat silenced shotgun from Postal is pretty high up on that list for me. There was also a sniper rifle in Borderlands 2 that basically just talked shit the whole time. That was pretty epic. I don't remember that. See, again, I think I had the same issue with Borderlands 2. I played it for a little while and I'm like, all right, I'm done. I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't do it for me. That game has everything I should love: comic book art and looter shooter. All right, I'll take the next one. Troy Games said the BFG 9000.
Oh, the classic.
That's always going to be on the list. It was the first giant, overpowered gun I remember and had a blast with it. Proximity mines and GoldenEye were great too. Haha, just kidding. Those things sucked. Yeah, they did. And Todd just replied to that. There's only one way to use proximity mines. Throw them everywhere.
Everywhere.
Oh. All right, you want to take Al's?
All right, I'll vote the Land Shark.
I am trying to remember what that's from.
I don't know. I'm clueless on that one.
I feel like it's a vehicle. Is that a vehicle from Borderlands, maybe?
Maybe, but I don't recognize it. So
yeah, it's not ringing a bell.
Like Borderlands has so many weird names that I could see something being called the Land Shark.
I feel like I should know this one though.
Not getting the reference.
Damn, I'm sorry, Al. Like, I feel like I played it up probably, and I should know it very well, but it's just not coming to me right now. All right, Todd. His reply.
Oh yes.
Go ahead. I'll let you take that one. You're the Star Wars
from Dark Forces to the lightsaber.
Oh hell
yes. Yeah. I really felt the need to pull out the gun after getting it, since you could deflect blaster fire back at stormtroopers as you close the gap and hack them down. Shout out to Metal Blades and Mega Man 2. Yes, as well. A versatile weapon and with good damage, especially against Metal Man himself. Yeah, man, Dark Forces 2. I feel like that was like one of the last classic, Jedi games.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Period. Obviously, we put it out by LucasArts, but today, I don't think there's a game that is as massive. Even with not Dark Forces, but Force Unleashed. Like that was fun. But
it wasn't Dark Forces 2.
It wasn't Dark. Yeah, basically the whole Dark Forces series, I would say, even up into Jedi Academy.
Jedi Academy was good. I enjoyed that. Yeah, and the story was great too, because you could branch off to light side or dark side, and it was good. I thought they really nailed what it would feel like to be a Jedi. So I'm with you on that. That was a great series. All right. Aaron posted just a screenshot from the first merchant in Zelda going, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take this, the wooden sword." And his close second is his gun Sunshot from Destiny 2, which I am going to find because that looks dope. Troy replied to him saying, I was going to go with the Master Sword too. Aaron said, that's not even the Master Sword. That's the wooden sword. First one you get. And Aaron just elaborated on the Sunshot a little more. He said, it's such a fun hand cannon. Things explode. Things explode on death, and if something is next to it and it dies, it also explodes. You can chain a lot of explosions together. It's awesome. And then he posted a clip of it. I can't wait to get that gun. And Jeremy from Bad Fodder Figures, Hoodie Ninja, said a VHS tape in super hot VR. So there you go, Nick. Look out for that one.
Look out for the VHS tape. Got it. Becon Rewind.
Or the Redeemer in Warframe. It's a giant sword with a built-in shotgun. I like that.
Picture that. The gunblade.
Yeah, right. That's pretty dope. And that is it for the SavePoint answers. We got a couple of voicemails. Let's see. Wow, we got some good content here. All right, let's take it away. If you want to call and leave a voicemail to either answer our question of the bye week or, just to ramble about games or whatever the hell you want, really, you can call at any time at 610-810-1654. Without further ado, let's check out the voicemails this week.
What's going on, everybody? Fred French calling in from the kitchen. What's cooking in Fred's kitchen tonight? We have the smoked kielbasa with pierogies. Oh, yes. Let me start you gentlemen out on how this... Oh, whoa. Wait a minute. That's not... I'm sorry. Wait a minute. That's...
Holy shit.
I apologize. That's a different show I call it. That's a cooking show I call it. Never mind. Forget that. What's going on, guys? Let's start all over. What's going on, restaurant? Yeah. Al has a new microphone. Yeah. Al sounds all good on the podcast. Yeah. So here's the thing, Al. This microphone's so good and it's going to make you so much better. I want you to sing to us, brother. I want you to belt that tune out and sing to us in the audience like you're on stage. Do it!
Don't
okay, let's start off with this right now. This is probably going to be a two-call thing because I'm wound up and there is a lot to say. Yeah. Okay, weapon of choice. A lot of this really goes with the game. I mean, the game to me really dictates the weapon. It just really does. I'd have to say the weapon I do enjoy the most is I'm going sniper, and I'm not one of these little new age, young fart little things that'll be no-scoping you from 10 feet away. I no-scoped you from 10 feet away, and I took a picture of it. I'm going to put it on my Instagram and tell all my friends. Yeah, no, that's not how this works. We're talking old school, die-hard sniping, where you, climb up in a building or you're out in the wilderness and you climb up on some mountain somewhere and you snuggle in behind that rock and you set everything up and you start scanning around and just looking for your prey. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. There's nothing better than laying there on the side of the mountain, watching your prey run through the village below you, thinking, I'm going to kill someone. No, you're not, because I have these crosshairs right on your bean pod, and you're going down, brother. You're going down. And then you finally get that perfect opportunity to squeeze that trigger. Squeeze that trigger and the shot goes away and he just drops. And that guy is throwing his controller up in the air saying, who the, what the, and where the did I just get shot from? Come on, nothing can beat that. Nothing in the world can beat that. That is the greatest. And again, I did that so well with Battlefield, and I'm talking at least 3 and going on the decline of that. Because you know what I like? I like when they just give you an old school, hand-me-down, this was used, there's no attachments, there's nothing special to it. Assault rifle, said assault rifle. Sniper rifle, and the more you use it, and the more kills you get, the more things you earn to put on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this isn't where everything's handed to you like a bag of candy and you're
And Fred hit the 3-minute mark there. We have
Part
more.
2.
We have more from Fred. I'm with him on the sniper rifle, by the way. We'll get there. Right, and next.
Part 2, but at least this time I knew about it. I knew that was going to come. But anyway, yeah, I like how you earn everything you get to put on. You get the better scope, you get the better stock, you get, I forget all the things they offer you, but You earn it. The more you play, the more you kill, the better weapon you get. Yes, that's how this stuff should be done. Old school, in the mud, in the dirt, hiding into crevices type stuff. That's what Fred likes. And when Fred likes it, he enjoys it a lot. Anyway, let me just bring this up down and put a spin on this whole thing. I just want to see what you guys think. You may have talked about it in other shows. I don't know. Maybe I missed it somewhere. But a long-standing thing between me and my one friend was always, and I don't know why these people do it, which is my question as to why do they do it? Why do they move these grenade buttons around these controllers?
Oh,
okay, who in the world played Halo for so long and said, "Yep, that's when a grenade is"? I haven't played Halo in a while, so I'm not sure exactly what button it was, you know. And then you go to the next game and you're like, okay, well, you're getting yourself familiar with all the buttons, you know, the reload, the scope, you know, the changing weapons, and I'm standing there, my friend, the next thing you know, tink, 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 and he's like, "What was that?" And I'm like, "Grenade?" And he's like, "Whoa!" Yeah, it became a thing between me and him as to who would eventually wrongfully, mistakenly hit the grenade button. And then we'd have to take off so we didn't take any damage. Well, that's if it had damage like that. But, you know, we'd be like, why did this the grenade now instead of this? I mean, who thought that was funny? Who thought that was funny to be doing that type of stuff? I don't know. Let me know. And I do have one more part. Geez, this might be a 3-part call but this is, I gotta know if this happened to anybody else out there. I really do. This happened to my son, and I'm dying to know if this happened to anybody else. If this happened to anybody else, you guys have got to let me know. This is Metal Gear Solid 3.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Metal Gear Solid series.
Oh, hell yeah.
3.
Oh, yeah.
It's to the point in the game where that old guy has like a bird on his shoulder, and he's out in the wilderness, and he's sniping at you.
Yes, the end.
He's just cracking off shots, and it's up to you to figure out where this guy's at, by where his shots are coming from. The guy's constantly moving and stuff like that. The guy's like a really old guy.
End.
But anyway, my son was playing it. I believe it was on the 360 he was playing it. And he got to the part where he was with the guy, you know, running around the jungle. The guy snapping shots off at him and stuff like that. And he stopped the game for whatever reason, put it down. I mean, he turned the console off and everything. I still don't understand how this whole thing worked, but came back to it like a week later, and he turns it on, and next thing you know, the game progressed him somewhere, and it says the guy's dead. And he's like, "But I never found and killed him." And the game basically told us, I forget how the whole thing went down, but the game basically came out and said that the guy just died of old age. The guy literally died of old age, and the game progressed my son on. I didn't know that could happen. If I thought all I was going to do was hide behind the bush and wait for this guy to croak, heck, I could have saved a lot of time instead of running around the jungle trying to find this guy. So I'm just curious.
You're right, Fred. It is a 3-parter. Last voicemail.
All right, I promise this is it, or I'll be putting me on the block list. It'll be me on the do not call list.
Don't worry about it.
But anyway, yeah. I'm just curious if that anybody else happened, anybody else, or I never even knew that was possible. If anybody else even heard of that happening. To this day, my son brings it up, and we're talking about sniping games, and we're all laughing about it. It's just hilarious that the guy actually croaked on his own, just died of old age, instead of my son doing what he was supposed to do and kill him. I just think that's hilarious. I guess that's all I got. Hopefully everyone's doing well on the show. Everything's going good. I know Al's rolling the lucky 7. I mean, it seems like, Al, if you're not playing the lottery, I don't know why not. It seems like everything and anything's falling into your lap, making your life the greatest thing ever. So I really do think you ought to start playing some of those Mega Ball, Powerball, whatever tickets they sell, and rake it in the money too, sir. Why not? We'll go for it all, but hey, why not? Hats off to you. Anyway, like I said, that's all I got. If anybody wants any recipes, be afraid to hit me up. I do like to cook. I'll help you out. Anyway, that's all we got. Yep. Oh, Arriva Turkey. Oh, I am Arriva Dirty, man.
Arrivederci, Fred. Thank you for the calls. There's some great stuff in here to unpack, so we'll start there. As far as recipes, Fred, if you have any kind of good German dinner recipes, I love German food, I'd be happy to get that off you. As far as the end in Metal Gear Solid 3, that is a game Nick and I are very familiar with. We both have played the hell out of that series. And I knew about you could wait the end out. Basically, it's how it worked was it was based on your system clock as to when you started the fight with him. And I believe it was like, if you waited 3 days of real time, he would die of old age. Like,
that's amazing.
Because he's like 102 in the game. Um, yeah, like I remember reading that on the internet because I was actually having a really hard time beating him, and I thought I was missing something, and I was. There was a technique to it I just was not getting, and someone was like, "Yeah, you could just wait him out." I was like, "No shit, that's awesome," and like
which fits the Kojima style games.
I was just about to say that. Yep.
Yeah. Like what was it? I think it was one. Was it one or two? No, it was one.
It was one. Take your controller out and plug it into port 2.
Yeah, like it told you to do that. You're like, what? Wait, what? And if you did it, you could beat. I get that. Oh, I forgot
Psycho
the name.
Mantis.
Psycho Mantis. Thank you. Yes, and it was like, oh, and I think there was something.
He read your memory card too.
Yeah. Like, I was like, oh, I see you.
If you had any Konami games, he'd be like, Castlevania fan, are we?
Yeah, you're like, what?
Yeah.
I want to say there was something in 2 that the same thing would happen. Was it like a reset or?
It was a reset. Yeah, it made you think the game was resetting.
Yeah.
And then like your TV was looking for a signal. Yeah, I remember that. Like, but that is very Kojima, Fred. He's
breaking that fourth wall.
Hideo loves breaking the fourth wall, and it's one of the reasons I'm so excited for Death Stranding, because it's basically kind of his like free reign, do whatever he wants game, and he is just known for that kind of like weirdness and creativity. And I did not know, and I found out much later after Metal Gear Solid 3 came out, there was another way to kill him, and it's right before a cutscene. If you have a sniper rifle, or it's either before or after, you'll zoom in and you'll see like he's out on like a loading dock or something in a wheelchair, and they're gonna like bring him back in, and if you aim and snipe him at that second, you can actually kill him right there, and that's well before you face him in the woods. I never did try that. I know it's possible. I mean, I've seen the videos on it, and I just, again, it's so cool how you could always think outside the box in those Metal Gear games, and just weird things could happen. As far as your overall call, I'm with you on the sniper rifle. It's for my own part and my own favorite, it is almost the route I always take. It doesn't matter what game I play. In Breakpoint, I'm a sniper. I've been playing a sniper in first-person shooters pretty much ever since they came out with like full 3D access shooter games. I remember there was an old game, Delta Force, I think it was called, and you could have like the 50 cal sniper weapon, and that was a really wild game for multiplayer. It was one of the first games that I thought ran really good on dial-up multiplayer, where you could play with like 15 people, and I remember playing that online all the time, and like dressing in desert camo on a desert board with like super VGA graphics, so it's kind of blocky. And if you're aiming at someone that's like super far away, you're not sure if it's a fluctuating pixel or if somebody's actually moving. And like you'd pull the trigger and it'd be like, oh, Retro just killed so and so. And I'm like, holy shit, that was like half a mile away. But yeah, very, very fun to play as the sniper for me. I totally get that. What about you, Nick? What's your favorite?
So I hinted a little bit, but it's not the favorite, but the runner-up was definitely the Gunblade from Final Fantasy.
Really?
I don't know, just some fascination with just like it's a gun and a sword. It's amazing. Now in game, I think it ended up being like incredibly weak and it was absolutely terrible. It's like, oh, this sucks. So that being said, I think my absolute favorite, I think I have to say the gravity gun from Half-Life, I think it was 2, where it first debuted. Because I want to say it was one of the very first weapons where you literally could take anything in the environment and it suddenly become a weapon. I mean, you were John Wick before John Wick was a thing. Like there was a pencil, you could kill a guy with a pencil.
That's awesome. Yeah, you kind of got me thinking with Final Fantasy. One of my favorite weapons for the longest time was Excalibur. It was actually spelled Xcalibr because of the Nintendo's registry limitations.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, you had to like get a piece of metal from one of the main areas, like main bosses, and then you had to have the dwarves from an early part of the game forge it. It was like a really roundabout process to do it. But once you had it, the thing was a monster if you had a knight character. they can do some serious damage with it. I love when games do that, like when you can get like an ultimate weapon, by going on this like extravagant quest. Destiny's actually
extreme. Yeah.
Destiny's big on that, like to get some of the real powerful weapons. It's like a multi-step process, and I'm really enjoying that. It kind of brings that feeling back.
Nice.
But all right, that is it for voicemails, and that is pretty much it for the cast this week. Nick, any conclusions, final thoughts, shout-outs, anything going on you want to promote?
So we've been doing King of the Seas casting today and more tomorrow. We got the last bit of group staging and the semifinals tomorrow. So
Nice.
we'll be wrapping that up.
Now, are you playing or judging?
So I'm just casting. So,
Okay.
much like a sportscaster, I'm just sitting there, as a spectator to the match and just commenting on, how the teams are, what are they doing, how are they performing, and just kind of relaying that. So that's been a total blast, having a lot of fun with that. So you can catch me on my channel, Black Eagle Ops, on Twitch TV. And I think we start the first games at 3 p.m. Eastern again tomorrow.
3 p.m. Eastern. All right. I'm going to do my best to check that out. We should be back from the burial at that point. It's supposed to be pretty quick. Yeah, my aunt passed away. We weren't.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I think you might have met Carol. Remember Carol and Hank?
I think so, yeah. Like at a New Year's or something.
Oh, yeah. They've come to a New Year's once in a while. But yeah, Hank passed away like 10 years ago, and then she passed away this past week. She was 82 years old, man. I call that a good run.
Yeah, that's a good run right there.
So, yeah, she was of the Jewish faith, so it's very important that it kind of happens quickly, and they're not big on burial ceremony or anything. We're gonna actually do a memorial service in the spring for both her and my Uncle Hank, so that should actually be really nice. But yeah, so I'm hoping. I mean, it's early. It's gonna be at 11, and it's gonna be quick, so I should be back by the afternoon, and I'll definitely check that out, man. You're entertaining. You're a very entertaining streamer. For anybody listening that has not gone over to Nick's stream on Twitch at Black Eagle Ops, he's really fun to watch. You really interact well with your audience, and I've kind of watched as you've evolved over the past couple of years. You're really a high quality streamer, man. That's really good stuff, and it shows. You put a lot of effort into it, and you're just entertaining, man. You're very entertaining. So I'm happy that things are really seem to be taking off for you there. You're gonna be a fucking celebrity soon. Jesus.
Working on it.
World of War Nicks. But yeah, check him out. Other than that, we'll wrap this episode up. I just want to give another big thank you again to all our listeners. We seem to get new people every week, and I don't know. I love hearing that people are enjoying the show. We love when we get feedback from all you. It doesn't matter whether it's good, criticisms, we love it. So thank you all for listening. It really does mean a lot to us. Shout out to my pals at the Everyday Gamers. Always thinking of you guys and looking forward to your next episode, whenever that may be. Bad Fodder Figures. I for the first time in almost a year, I've missed an episode, so I actually have to catch up this week and catch up with the boys. And I actually got a call because I'm part of the call-in crew, so I got to call in and say hi to everybody and see what's going on. And big shout out to Married to the Games. I'm loving those guys. They're a great listen as well. And finally, Tap the Craft, Danny and crew. They've gotten me hooked on way too many good beers now that I have money to spend. It's funny though, because I've said it many times, they really, really know their beers, and they really give like these almost like workshops or classes on certain beer types, and they really go into the details of what makes a brute IPA different than an IPA, or the list goes on, and it's very interesting to listen to because you can tell they're obviously very passionate about the craft. So, yeah, the craft of craft brewing. Craft of craft brewing. There we go. Other than that, if you want to get in touch with us, you can reach us at tiny.cc/SavePoint, our book club for games. You can email us, theretrorents@gmail.com. We're on Twitter at theretrorents. You can get me directly at retrorentsal, Nick at Black Eagle Ops. And we're all on Twitch as well. Retro Rents Al on Twitch, Black Eagle Ops on Twitch for Nick. And eventually I'll probably start streaming under the RetroRents brand pretty soon, actually. I've got a few ideas, and I'm talking to a couple developers of some indie games that I think would be cool to highlight and show y'all. So I'm working on that. It's just a matter of having the time to do it. That is limited, as I now do the internal podcast for my job as well. But at least I can do that during the workday and get paid for it.
I was saying, aren't you doing it during work, or you have to do it afterwards?
No, do it during work. I get paid for it. And
there you go.
Oh yeah, people really enjoyed it this week. It was fun, a lot of fun. And that will be that, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was episode 48. Yes, episode 48. And I hope you all have a good week. Have fun, play games, don't be dicks. See ya.
Peace.